everyone. Welcome to the Northland Artist Conversation. My name is Mark Kelly and I am your host. Thank you very much for joining us. We love having people stop by, check us out. We love having people just putting the podcast on and just listen to it in the background while they're doing, just getting on with life. This week, with having talked with a lot of different podcast guests, that's a lot of ways that people are sort of listening to us and finding out about us. So it's very, very cool. So if you're just solely focusing on the podcast and listening or watching us right now, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Or if you're listening to us and doing chores or creating, man, that was the one that took me by surprise. People just really listening to the podcast and getting ultra creative at the same time. Thank you so much. It is so cool to know that we are your inspiration of choice in the audio space for Northland, New Zealand. This was, for me, this was a very, very interesting podcast. It went a lot of different places and I wasn't really sure where it was going to go. And having talked with the guest sort of afterwards, he wasn't too sure where it was going to go either. And that's kind of the exciting thing about what we do is we have no idea where it's going to go. We don't sit down with 20 questions and we don't have like a set game plan for how things go. I'm going to flick to my camera now. Today's guest is Kurt Brown. Kurt is a former Northland boy. He moved here when he was 14 with his family and did his formative years at Whangarei Boys. We talk a lot about his journey and his life and some of the challenges that he faced and how he kind of was able to navigate through it, but then also come out the other side as like a better version of himself. And that's incredibly powerful. Kurt's young, he's 23. But to have some of those realizations that he's had is amazing. And he is such a cool guy. There were times there where he was blending who he really is with his character, and it was just, honestly, it was so amazing. It was so amazing. So I tell you what, let's sit down and have a conversation with Kurt Brown. Kurt Brown, thank you so much for being on the Northland Artist Conversation. This is a hell of a day. It's a hell of a day. We've just finished a podcast with Keanu, wrestler Horace, and now we've got the pleasure and the luxury of sitting down with actually a homegrown Northland boy. And this is very cool because you grew up here, you did a lot of your time here, you moved to Auckland for work opportunities or study or both, and then you entered the world of wrestling and you're up here because of the Aotearoa wrestling show Grassroots, which is on tonight, which is Saturday the 13th of September. This podcast will come out quite a bit later and we're going to try and line it up with the Dewdrop event. So we'll try and build it in. So thank you. That was a very long fucking intro, but thank you for being here, dude.
No, thank you, Mark Kelly. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome,
Very
Kurt Brown.
You're Northland
No,
boy too?
not at all.
Oh, okay.
No, I was born in Christchurch, spent a bit of time in Whanganui, but I would say I'm probably a Gisborne boy more than anything because that's where I spent most of my life. We're going to hear a doo-doo and the whole time because that would be my son who is currently recording behind the scenes for your vlog that you also have.
Yes.
Fuck, it's going to be such a meta podcast, I feel.
Hey, it's
like you're going to slip in and out of character and I'm not going to know what the fuck's happening.
Do I even know what character is? Do I even know what's going on? Are they blended? But keep up the vlog camera. It's like I'm getting plugs for my vlog without even having to speak about my YouTube channel because they'll hear and eventually they're just going to be like, let's go check this thing out. And then they might even subscribe and like all my content.
So let's start with that then. How do people find you?
It's Kurt Brown. It's classic. And with my wrestling name, I've always wanted to blend my social media because I just love creating videos. Yeah. So I've even started talking to the ring announcers. Instead of just saying Kurt Brown, we want to say introducing it's Kurt Brown.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so wrestling character, is Kurt Brown your real name?
Yes, Kurt Brown is my real name.
Your actual birth given name. So your New Zealand's younger John Cena?
Well, I mean, I've never thought about it that way, but
Well, yeah, because what did he start off as? He started off as like the Cyborg or something like that, where he was playing a character that was very robotic and stuff like that, and then he went to WWE and was just John Cena. Now, I'd like to just sort of go right back, because you're relatively young. You're 23. I thought so. I turned 50 this year, so I really am twice your age.
Oosh. Congratulations.
Thank fucking thank you.
Quick, put the camera on.
No,
Put the camera on.
No, it's fucking...
Mark, how old were you? Yo, I want to wish a happy birthday to Mark. Mark's 50, everybody. 50 years of media experience. He might give us advertisement advice from newspapers.
I crawled out of the womb with a camera.
Sorry, Mark. All love.
You're
all love.
so, no.
All love.
This is going to be unhinged and very unstable, and I'm here for it. Okay, so you were born in Whangarei?
So, okay, camera's off. Okay. You guys can hear that. So, in terms of being born in Whangarei,
yeah,
I wasn't. I'll be fully transparent. I came to Whangarei when I was around 14 years old, and then...
Okay, where were you from then?
So I was from sort of West Auckland.
Are we talking like...
Kumeu, Riverhead?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So
it's kind of northwest, right? Yeah.
Yeah, northwest. But yeah, I consider Whangarei my hometown, just because from the age of like 14... when I moved there and then sort of stayed to around 2021, did COVID there. I feel like those are the years I became the most aware. Those were my deepest relationships, where a lot of my my ego self personality grew. So I always consider Whangarei my home.
They're the very formative years, right?
Yeah.
That sort of, you've just started out in your teens and then you do all your teen years. And that's where you really sort of try and figure out who you are as a person. And you try lots of things, and you go, I tried that, I didn't like it, I tried that, I was really shit at it, so I'm not going to do it again, and all that sort of stuff. But you obviously, you're a wrestler, you're an up-and-coming wrestler, and you make content as well, but... What were you like as a kid? Were you creative, or were you sort of like sporty, academic, creative, douche? There's so many different things we can be as kids.
I was the piece of shit in class who would just start yapping to people, and then I don't know, bro. That's why I was scared to go near the podcast house, because my voice travels. Yeah. And I'd be at the back of the class yapping, and everyone would be yapping, and the teacher would be like, "Kurt Brown, shut the hell up." I'm like, bro, there was like 7 other people talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was hard to focus in school for that reason.
Were you academic?
There were certain...
subjects that appealed to you, right? But there were subjects you were like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can swear as well if you like. It's that sort of podcast.
Let's go, frickin' flippin'. Yes.
Yeah.
Frickin' flippin'.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, I was the bad boy in school.
What?
Yeah.
When someone says they're the bad boy, they're often not the bad boy.
I was a flippin' bad boy.
No, you weren't.
Oh, come on. Do I not look like it?
No,
come
not
on,
at all.
Alright, whatever.
No, you look like
you
were...
cut the vlog. Cut this out.
You look like you partook in Derek Zoolander's school for really gifted kids.
Yo. Derek Zoolander's the man, bro. Come on. That guy's got charisma.
With growing up, were you creative at all, or did creativity not sort of come into your life until a bit later?
Well, something... I think the biggest part of what makes me and the way I think and approach wrestling is, I'd say, having like imagination.
Yeah, right.
And using imagination would be my strongest skill. Mm-hmm. Because growing up when I was in Kumeu before Northland, it was pretty much, I grew up in a massive house. Like, it was literally my nan, my pop, my 3 aunties, their husbands, everyone had kids. So it was like freaking...
It's a huge
It's like 16 of us growing up in a house.
Yeah.
All together. So But we didn't really have things like Sky or stuff like that. So it was literally just like a backyard, and my cousins and we would just create worlds in our mind. And we used to always play games like golems. We had like a freaking green golem baddie and a blue golem baddie and a red golem, and they'd have personalities, and they had bases around the house, and it was like imagining and then pretending to fight the golems and all this shit.
That's so cool, because so it's funny that you say that, because that's how I grew up. Obviously, I'm, as I said, I'm twice as old as you, and some change. But we had, we were a one television household, and it was one of the big old crusty CRT TVs, and you had no remote. And if mum or dad wanted the channel changed, they'd yell at either me or my brother, and we'd get up and we'd push the button to change the channel out of the two that we had, 2 channels. But as a kid, we would do, it was that environment where you would get home from school, and you grab your BMX and you'd bugger off. And then you'd come home when it was dark, and that was it. And mum and dad just didn't really care, because you were out exploring and creating your own worlds and stuff like that, and doing interesting things. So I think that's actually very, very cool, because that's a very old school way of being brought up. And what it does is it encourages an active imagination. And did you sort of like take that with you all the way through schooling and stuff like that? Did you pursue anything like drama or anything along those lines?
Yeah, like I've always taken drama. Funny enough, when I was in primary school, I loved drama, but I would just prefer to be one of the background characters.
Supporting
characters, and then I'd just let everybody have the main stage and do their dancing. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And then I'd just stand on stage in a night outfit, trying to look cool in the background. But I was big into drama when I came a bit more into my own in high school. Funny fact with Shakespeare, actually, they're like, okay, so we have a Shakespeare play.
Yes.
But we need to customize, like, we need to make it our own.
Yeah.
So I'm actively trying to find the clip with my boys from Whangarei right now, where we did Shakespeare wrestling style.
Oh my God.
Where we came out with our microphones. Thy this, thou this, flippin' whippin', Shakespeare modernized a little bit. And then we'd come in with our monologues and then go in the ring and battle wrestling style and then say our monologue lines.
That's such a that's a great modern interpretation of Shakespeare. That's amazing, man.
I so wish I had the footage for it. We have like a 2-second clip, but it's me recording the others wrestling. And it's me kind of directing and being like, do the code breaker, hit him with a super kick. And then they're like, give me my pound of flesh, super kicks him in the face, he's knocked out.
That's crazy.
That type of vibe.
That's actually incredibly creative. And is that sort of where, as you're talking with the, really?
Subscribe.
We've flipped over.
Welcome to the Kurt Brown Show.
Man, it's all just going to be the Kurt Brown. It's Kurt Brown it's Kurt Brown.
Yeah.
Now I'm on this goddamn thing as well. With the imagination and with kind of everything going through school, were you bullied at school or anything along those lines? Or were you one of these? So creative people often can often be quite challenging, especially in school. They're either really picked on because they're, creative people don't necessarily do sport. They're not necessarily academic. They're involved in the creation of things, and you can't really create stuff out of maths. Or you have people that are a little bit creative and they do other areas in school where they kind of excel really well. What was it like for you growing up? And then also making that transition from QMU to Whangarei, because they're very different lifestyles and schooling environments as well.
Yeah, good question, actually. I don't know, it kind of leads into me as a wrestler today. For some reason, like, I've always had like friends, but there's always been people who just I haven't got along with them. Like, there's always been people, I don't know whether it's they're mirroring something they see in themselves, or maybe I was just an outright pretentious dick who flicks the camera on in the middle of their podcast and takes over their show, and caused the hate. But I've always had...
I've had worse, bro. Had worse.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I've always had, like, opponents and rivals all my way growing up. And it's like every new world I go into, every new school, there'll be like a specific group or person who just really has, for some, no matter what I do, they'll never listen to me. They just don't care what I have to say, and they just think I'm the worst.
Okay.
And it's just been a part of life. But something that I was thinking about, subscribe to it's Kurt Brown on YouTube. Something that I was thinking about growing up is I've always been like, I've never really had that formal martial arts background.
Okay, really? Yeah.
But I've always loved scrapping people, love scrapping.
Okay.
And Sean, let me know if you guys do the same thing. There's literally one game that I've played my entire way through, like, primary all the way to high school.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I freaking introduced it to Rosmini as well, like invented this game. I'm going to get hated on for that. And now Mark understands why I have enemies.
That's all right. You can also have frenemies as well.
Yeah, let's go. Frenemies, come on. We called it Manhunt.
Okay.
Manhunt. And this is what I loved to do when I was younger. We'd have like 50 of us in the school. We'd always pick 2 people to start as the hunters.
Okay.
And from the 2 people that we started as the hunters, everyone else would sprint. They'd hide. They'd form alliances. And then me and the bro, let's say Mark and I are together. Yeah. We would have to find somebody where they're hiding. Yeah. Grab them, and they either had to tap out or say, I quit. So we'd just grab them. Yeah. Freaking, I used to study like Brock Lesnar. I was chucking like Kimuras. I was doing freaking pro wrestling moves. Because I was just like, oh, this is going to work. Hit someone with an F5 once. That was pretty cool.
Onto the concrete? That's ruthless.
Hey, not concrete. Nails. No, what?
Yeah.
I'll leave
thumbtacks.
Yeah. No, that's probably Horace.
It's all getting left in. Okay, so Manhunt. That's
where it started, man. That's where my aggression came from. And I learned a brilliant Kimura, a brilliant chicken wing. But there was 1 or 2 times I'd get overconfident chasing someone, then I'd walk into behind a building and there's 6 polys that beat me up.
6
polys?
Polynesians?
Yeah.
Okay,
and
right.
they're tough. Yeah. Huge.
They are.
So if you're looking for alliances, they're just the most naturally talented and strong people.
That's funny. Okay.
Yeah. Also why I want to do the Toko and Palangi duo with Sam Sonny, but he doesn't want to tag with me.
Okay.
He doesn't see the potential, but he'll see it.
Okay. So you think we're about 15, 20 minutes into the podcast.
Yeah, we're going on tangents.
And no, I can't tell if I'm talking with Kurt Brown, the person, or Kurt Brown, the wrestler. That you keep that line very blurry. Do you do that intentionally?
I don't know. Who do you want to talk to?
This is hilarious. I'm fucking loving this so much, man. This is awesome.
Let's go.
Okay, so after you'd sort of fucked everyone up at high school,
yeah, clip that. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah. Where did you kind of go from there? Because did you leave high school early? Did you get your NCAAs? What happened there?
Well, I guess that kind of you mentioned the story of like transitioning from Auckland, like when
yeah. Let's talk about that, because that's a very, because you obviously you're in a big house with a large group of people, at a semi-rural school.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, Riverhead Primary School.
Yeah,
so semi-rural. Yeah.
And Riverhead's a lovely place. I used to live out at Parakai.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, mate of mine was the skydiving instructor at the airfield out there, so I would go live with him. And on every second weekend, I'd grab Sean from Whangarei and he'd come down and stay with me. It was nice. It was very cool. Uncle
nice
Billy.
Spot.
Uncle Billy. You remember Uncle Billy? Yeah, and Bodie. Yeah, he's very cool. That's it. Billy Thompson, if you're watching or listening, shout out to the Flying Māori. He's the baddest of them all. So I used to drive through QMU for to get into work because I worked in Newmarket. With the at its Kurt Brown philosophy, I'm going to get into the spirit of things now.
I think the camera turns the character on more.
I think it
because I was going into Kurt a little bit, and now I'm back into Kurt.
What was the reasoning for moving from QMU to Whangarei?
Yeah, so...
I mean, after you fucked everyone up, was it like, I need new victims?
Yeah. Dude, why do you think I'm coming back to Northland? I just friggin' destroyed everyone in Auckland, and I'm like, I'm going back to Northland.
That's it. You started off young. It was all Northwest. You moved to Whangarei to build up your skill set. You moved back to Auckland, just fuck them all up.
Yeah.
What actually caused the move?
Yeah. So, it was a work opportunity with my father.
Oh, nice.
And, something like growing up with a lot of cousins in a big house where we had to use our imagination to come up with things to do. Man. I grew up with the same group of friends. Like my core 3 to 4 friends were the same friends for 15 years.
Wow.
So I think I got to a point where I just had such deep relationships with them. I'm like, I don't need any other friends.
Yeah.
Everybody else, they're all right, but I don't think I had to learn the skills of making friends because I just had these deep connections with the same people from 5.
And that's so incredibly fortunate, man.
Yeah.
How, as a 14-year-old, how was it shifting schools? Because you've at 14 you've had 1 year of high school, two years of high school, and then you've kind of got your core group of mates, and you've got this routine that you've been part of for a number of years with family, and then Dad gets a job opportunity, and suddenly you've got to shift everything and relocate and almost start from scratch.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It sucked ass.
I feel like that's an oxymoron. But how was it for you? Because I mean, as a kid, I shifted. Dad shifted me and Mum and my brother for work a lot, and it was tough because when you go to new schools, you often struggle because I guess what you'd say is more of a it's not like one of the big main centres. Northland is a little bit more of an outlier. So with regionals, you've got kids that have known each other for 5, 6, 10 years, and they've been mates all the way through. And then all of a sudden, this new kid comes in, and he's Nigel no mates for a little while. How did you sort of deal with that? And can we just leave the cameras off for just a second? I just want to talk with the real Kurt Brown for just a moment on this one.
I'm gonna be honest. I think you explaining that story, it was tough.
Yeah,
it was tough. You get so comfortable when you build a lifestyle and you've built deep relationships. And I remember going to a completely new school, a very different culture. Everybody there already had their cliques.
Yeah.
I remember the first day of school.
Yeah,
I was like, I'd never felt this before. But I remember for some reason, I'm like, shit, I don't know anyone here.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in class and barely anyone talked to me. No one really said hello. I was in class and I was like, holy shit, what is this buzzy feeling? It's having a freaking anxiety attack.
Okay, I was about to ask you that, yeah.
Holy crap. I remember going at lunchtime, my first lunchtime, because I'm like, bruh, I don't know anyone. I didn't talk to anyone on my first day. I mean, going to the bathroom, just sitting there in lunch, being like, what the hell have I done? I want to go back.
So you would literally sit in the bathroom for lunch?
Yeah, that was, I remember just sitting there being like, yo, I want to go back, and then telling my parents, yo, I do not like Whangarei at all.
Far out. How long did that feeling last for?
It was the first sort of, I'd say maybe a few days, maybe 2 days where I did that.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know, I developed this really weird anxiety where I'm like, fuck, I don't have the skills to like connect with people, and it really threw me in the deep end there. Where do I want to go?
How did you navigate that? Because there must come a point in time where you're like, I don't want to have no friends. And then do you take the first step in talking to people, or do people get comfortable with you and sort of make that first connection?
Well, I guess this kind of links back to when you were talking about the academia, because this kind of leads into a big part of my philosophy, which is everybody has something that they're wired to do.
Right.
And I truly believe everybody, if they spend some time figuring out what they're meant to do, what their skills are, looking at what they enjoy, it led me to a phase where I don't know, like all my inside jokes, all my inside stories, friends, they weren't there. Yeah, and I remember it got to a situation where in order to make friends when I was in Whangarei, and this made me a little bit nervous about going on these podcasts and talking about Whangarei, because most of the best stories that I'd like to tell, I don't think I could tell on a podcast. So
why is that?
Well, a lot of the reason when I moved to Whangarei, the way I made most of my friends was through just drinking and partying. Oh, because it was just it just felt difficult to socialize outside of that.
Okay, allow me to just put your mind a little bit at ease then. We have had some eclectic guests on here. When we sat down with Jay Barrick, he talked about how he was, I think, 12 or 13 when the military coup happened in Fiji, and how his dad was that, and how suddenly it was like, oh, it's your birthday, Dad. It's like, to get the fuck out. You need to leave. Through to some of our... we've had an incredibly amazing guest called Lauren Roach, and she's an author, and she was, funnily enough, also my doctor at one point, but she was also a sex worker. And she talked about some of those experiences. So we have had a great depth of people share. So we've had people talk about their drug addictions. We've had people talk about mental health and all of that sort of stuff. So if you want to censor yourself, that's fine. I'm not going to say you don't have to, but if you want to open up, you can. This is your platform to talk about it. And that's why I asked the guys to just put the camera down for a moment so we could chat with the real Kurt Brown, as opposed to blending that character, which you do incredibly well. So was that sort of going to parties and drinking drugs? Nah. I did. But there's that. I'm guessing that's kind of the way it was the way that you found you're in for. And then how did your sort of relationships with friends and finding friends from that point onwards, how was that?
Yeah, to be honest, it was okay. Yeah. The story aside, but most of my friendships were built around stuff like partying and not going to school, just leaving and going bunking. To the beach and
wagging. Yeah,
bunking.
Dude,
and
I did that shit, man. When I hit fourth form, I discovered bunking, and then it was all over. And then I discovered how to forge my mum's signature.
Oh, dude!
And then shit was really all over because I suddenly got conjunctivitis at least once a week.
Yeah, and you've used up all your grandma and your grandparents.
Yeah. But I mean, it's that thing. I was never really a big fan of high school. I struggled with it. I went to an all-boys school, and because I had an interest in drama, I got bullied a lot. The boys' school I went to was Gisborne Boys High School, and they were known nationally for their rugby team and their cricket team. Two sports I didn't give a shit about at all. Yeah. I wanted to be on stage, and I wanted to act and take on these characters and understand them. So I got a lot of shit, and there were times where it was really tough. And bearing in mind this was also 35 years ago, so yeah. Northland Artist Conversation is incredibly proud to support Rayburn House. Rayburn House is an art gallery located in the town basin in Whangarei. Rayburn House is the oldest house that's in the Whangarei city limits. Got converted into an art gallery, and it's an absolutely amazing space. They hold exhibitions all year round, and it's a lot of different stuff in there. So you might have like pottery one week or digital media another. You might have like mixed media. Lots of really, really cool exhibitions they have in there. They have these really fun opening nights as well that you can go to if you're invited, and it's where the artists kind of get to mingle with other people as well, and you really get to celebrate what's on presentation, what's on offer. They've also got a lovely little area as well where they have sort of different little bits and pieces that you can buy if you want to as well, and really support Rayburn House. So such a fantastic organisation. Northland Artist Conversation is incredibly proud to support Rayburn House. You know, it's kind of one of those difficult things where you want to. I mean, every teenager wants to find their group of people and be accepted, right? And that's hard because you obviously went to an all boys school. I went to an all boys school, and you know I didn't really have a gateway in. But the fact that I guess you found something, despite it maybe not being the best of ways to get friends, it sort of helped you foster relationships that you were able to use later on, right?
Yeah, and like a lot of the relationships I ended up building throughout high school. Probably not the greatest face of Northland to say, but I feel like it's just something, I feel like it's relatable. The reason where I felt like I was fitting in when I was doing like drinking, and you've got all your dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and you feel good and you feel connected to a lot of the people. Yeah. And it was really weird in terms of grades in school. Like there would be one subject like math where one paper I'd get not achieved and then one I'd get freaking high excellence. It's a certain thing would resonate. Yeah. A certain thing would not resonate. And it was the same with English. I'd get not achieve, excellence, merit, excellence. Chemistry, I get excellence, achieved. Like it was just.
So it wasn't like there was one subject that you just always crushed. It was like you might be up on one but down on another, middle somewhere, and then it all kind of fluctuates all over the show.
Yeah, I think it's just a mix of like something has to catch my eye. Yeah. And this is why I love pro wrestling so much, because it just draws every aspect, every skill set, everything draws me into pro wrestling. But with like going through high school and then out of high school, I think I got to the point where it was like, okay, a lot of my relationships were all built around drinking and partying. Yeah. And then, I'm sorry guys, but being sober, I'm like, I don't even like hanging. I don't have anything in common with most of these people. Yeah, yeah. And then I don't even know who I am. I'm just freaking trying to be somebody that I think will fit in.
Yeah, yeah. And it's almost a character, right? Because you're in those years of trying to discover yourself, and you're like, I get in with these guys. This is who I am. Actually, I'm not. Yeah. Maybe that's just a little role I played for a period of time to fit in.
And I feel like being someone that you're not as well. There was a point in high school where I was just like, I don't care about any, like nothing is, apart from drama and DVC, like nothing else was sticking out.
What is
to me.
DVC?
I like design and visual communication. Like,
oh, really?
I love drawing 3D structures.
Wow, this is fucking. When did this happen?
I don't know. I just always from just the first time I ever picked up one of those dot graphs where you draw the 3D cubes on them. Yeah. Just became obsessed with it. I just in my free time start drawing 3D structures, and
wow,
I'm no good at it now. I don't practice it anymore. But I think it's just getting out what's in my head. But I think like going through high school, I got to a point where I'm like, damn. Even out of high school, when I ended up leaving Whangarei, I was like, damn, bro. I feel like a lot of the people in my life liked that, character version of me. Yeah. Where I'd be hiding like what I actually liked and what I actually enjoyed, which is something that I've been practicing a lot nowadays. Is I call it like authentic collaboration.
Yeah, okay.
Where you can, with, you know, people that you trust, you can speak about what you want to speak about, follow your passions, just go out, you know, you love wrestling, you love movies, you love content creation.
Yeah.
Just the goofy shit that makes you.
Yeah.
Like the goofy arty side.
Yeah, definitely.
That in the past I'd be ashamed. Like I never told people. Like people knew I liked pro wrestling.
Yeah.
But they didn't know how much I actually loved it.
How much did you actually love it then? Like, are we talking like fanatical?
Well, I could tell you that story. But I was always a big WWE guy. Like my whole way through high school.
Yeah.
From the age of like 14 to 17, I probably pretty much watched every WWE production.
Wow.
But I never talked about it. I didn't know anyone else in my high school who watched it.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody else who liked it. But I didn't talk about it, so I probably never got the opportunity to collab with these people. And I might have found pro wrestling a lot sooner if I did. But speaking about my actual passions and saying what I want to say, and being more myself, that's only something I started doing pretty recently, like maybe a year, 2 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
But it's drawn more authentic people in my life, who share the same passions, who we just get each other. Like we just on that same wavelength. So that was sort of a big learning.
That's pretty crazy, man. And to have that realization at such a young age as well is incredibly powerful. You know, I went through something similar. For me, it was drugs and alcohol. And there's probably about 3 years that are in the memory banks. But I was always, you know, comedians talk about this all the time. They always feel like they have to be on, as opposed to just being off, which is who they really are. You know, there's always that. They feel a need that they always have to perform. I had a lot of that, and I always felt like I had to be on for my friends and to be the life of the party and the entertainer and all that sort of stuff.
Sounds exhausting.
It's really fucking tiring. And then I did all of my drama stuff, and then I was fortunate enough to be invited to be the singer of a band, and I did that for 7 years. But I got to a point where I actually couldn't get on stage if I didn't have a character to play, because I had found myself becoming very introverted. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that's actually kind of my happy place, is just sitting down, chilling, and just enjoying peace and quiet, or YouTube movies, or any of that sort of stuff. But by the very same token, at the opposite end, I host a podcast. I'm an MC. I'm a director. You know, I
would have taken you on the very extreme extroverted side. Yeah, if I'm being honest.
I'm an extroverted introvert, and that's kind of the. And it was funny. My therapist told me that. He was great in helping me kind of get to understand that. But
have you done a Myers-Briggs personality?
Yeah, I did a while ago.
What was
a while ago?
Oh, okay.
I know there was a vowel and some letters.
Sounds common.
Yeah. But it was, you know, it was just one of those things. I did what I thought I had to do to fit in, and those people from my early years, I don't have anything to do with anymore, because some of them stayed the same and didn't change. Whereas I grew up and adapted and stuff like that, and I went out and tried to live life and do stuff. And you know, you look back on those years and you go, "Who the fuck was I? That's not who I am. I'm playing a character, you know, like a little part of me." You know, I'm guessing that's sort of something that was similar for yourself. When you have that realization, you go, "Well, those friends, I don't really have much in common with them."
Sorry, I got a freaking scratchy throat.
That's all right. You scratch your throat, cough, drink the water. But I mean that, and as someone who is 23, it's I guess I find that sort of really interesting that you can have that realization, and then work out who you actually are. Yeah, we're getting deep in this podcast, man. Sometimes we
do.
do. Sometimes we don't.
Do you go this deep with all the wrestlers?
Well, no, guests in general. Yeah, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It just sort of really depends. But I just always find it fascinating, people's journey, and because your journey is still relatively new, we sort of dig into some of it.
To be honest,
anyway, back to wrestling.
I just feel, I didn't even think we talked about wrestling. I just feel like when I was younger, I didn't even realize that I wasn't being myself. You just have no idea. Like, I didn't even think I was really aware of my actions. Like, I was just so controlled by emotion, or controlled by people around me, and I would make a bunch of decisions, that, looking back at it, I don't think I consciously thought about those decisions, even though I thought I had free will. But I would just do them based on my circumstances. Yeah. So
that's crazy, man.
Like,
and then you get through high school, right? And you come out the other side, and then at what point do you go, I need to leave? And you figure out who you are, and then you go, and it's almost like you go, I need to figure out who I am, and I want to be a wrestler. Because that almost seems like it's part of the same...
Oh, that was a few years. That took a few more years to get.
Did it really?
That came with a lot of just a self-acceptance.
Okay, so you had to have that moment in yourself.
Yeah.
That's powerful, man.
Yeah. I think I shot myself in the foot, but it calloused a bit stronger. And the point of, like, when I finished high school, I got to a point where I was like, holy shit. I don't have my NCA.
Really?
What the hell am I going to do now?
Yeah.
I don't have my level 3 NCA. I only got like a third of the credits because I only sat a third of the test.
Were you at the beach for the rest of them?
Bro, I just didn't. I took some tests.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And then so my uncle hits me up. He's like, yo, we've got a building site. I see you finished high school.
Yeah.
Time to make some money, boy.
Oh, but that's cool that you were able to kind of, sashay into that opportunity, man.
It was, but I think realizing getting into the world of construction that I was probably the world's most useless 18-year-old. It's like, fuck, I got no bloody skills.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I'm like, it was rough, man. It was rough. You're dealing with hyper masculine energy.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You're on a site, and I'm just like some useless. At 18, I was like freaking 72 kilos. From 18 to like,
oh my God,
19, I was like 72 kilos.
Yeah.
I was really small, really, really small.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I changed my mind and accepted myself, my body freaking morphed within like 6 months. But that's a spiritual story.
That's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, and I remember being on a building site, and one of the managers, we did not get along.
Oh no.
That was where like the first rival, man. That guy was a dick.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, you're so useless, you don't know how to do anything. I'm like, bruh, I was never taught how to do anything.
Yeah, I'm an apprentice for a reason.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So did you find how long were you doing construction for? Let's start with that.
Yeah, I did it for a year.
Okay.
And there were after a while, like there were moments where I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. Like I did enjoy it after a while once you build up a little bit of experience and you build connections. But I remember locking and be like, holy shit, bro, I gotta sort out what I need to do. So I ended up joining a school like Takora and finishing while I was working construction full time. I ended up finishing the last 2/3 of NCA that I didn't do.
Congratulations, man. That's cool.
Thank you. Long story short, I went to university.
Yeah.
It beautifully sucked as well.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
I gave it a first stab and it didn't work. That's why I went to drama school.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm sure you studied. I'm like, sure you studied.
I did drama school, but I actually had a crack at uni, and I was like, no. I think I did a couple of weeks at Vic Uni in Wellington, and 2 weeks, and I don't remember any of it because it was like orientation week, and then another orientation week on top of that. So I was drunk.
Yeah.
The whole time. I don't remember much of anything at all.
Start you off on a rough foot, eh?
Pretty much. It's at that point I was like, I need a job or I'm gonna die.
I think with uni when I was there as well, because with design it kind of related to DVC, but it was a mix of presentation and almost like a drama. Like we were like presenting and building companies. It was like working with people, drafting ideas, presenting ideas. And the presenting side is what I love to do. I just love presenting. And making it entertaining. But I went to uni and it was nothing like it was sold to be. I don't even think, no offense, I'm probably going to get frickin' people probably
you won't.
come after me, but the design, it was the second year of the course. I don't even think the lecturers knew what they were talking about.
So you went there on a for design school?
Design, yeah. I had this idea of, I was like, I love to just innovate, create something, create a company, tell a story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't. It ended up being like graphic design and sitting on computers and and I was not a fan.
Yeah.
I ended up coming up with a strategy just to finish off where somehow whenever we did group projects, I'd be like, all right, who's the smartest in this class? Okay. Who are the smartest?
Yeah.
But the shyest.
Yeah.
And then I'd pick that group.
Yeah.
We'd organize together.
Yeah.
They would get the work done to a very high standard, but then they'd never want to present it.
And you're the face.
And I'd pull up and be like, all right, let's drop some magic on it.
Yeah.
I'm a piece of shit.
No.
Someone's got to present the idea.
So here's the thing,
Someone's got to present it.
Absolutely. So everyone has a different skill set, right? So I work in IT, but I will happily tell you I'm the dumbest person there. And everyone knows that. But I'm okay with that. I have skills in other areas. I do people management really well. I do presentations really well. Those are sort of my strengths because of the drama degree and background that I've got. But when it comes to the technical stuff, I can sit there and the guys can just rattle off 6 million acronyms, and I can sit there, deer in the headlights, blank as anything, and they're like, Mark, it means this. Right, yeah, cool. Now I got you now. Why couldn't you have just fucking led with that? But it's and if you find that, it's interesting because you obviously found your niche in the fact that presentation was a strong suit for you, because it's a very hard skill. Public speaking is the third most feared thing. Deaf, dentist.
Deaf, dentist, and public speaking.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow,
it's crazy. It's crazy, wow. Right? Yeah. Okay. And those are the three, the most common things. So the fact that if you are confident enough and self-assured that you can get up and speak to a room of 10 or a room of 10,000, that's a huge skill set in itself. And being able to make the content relatable and that everyone can go, you have to be personable. And not everyone can be personable. So you're not cheating or being a piece of shit. Your words, not mine. Oh. We can review that as well.
Hold me back.
I think it's the smart way to. It's definitely the smart way to do things. So how does that sort of stuff align with what you do now?
Yeah, well, pretty much. Freaking went through university, and by the time I got halfway through the year, I'm like, all right, I'm just the presentation man now.
Right. Okay.
Who wants me to do their presentations?
Yeah.
But there's also there's an art to listening and understanding people who might not be able to. There's an art to just shutting up and being able to paraphrase and actively listen to somebody who might not necessarily be able to portray their ideas to be able to understand. And then I left uni. I'm like, what the hell is this? Went back to construction for a few more months, went down a drama path, worked as an extra on frickin' Netflix, One of Us is Lying, met a bunch of friends there,
oh my God.
Went and did design engineering reports, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a mother flipping salesman. I'm a salesman.
Yes, you are.
And then long story short, did tech sales for a year and a half, crushed it, And when you do tech sales, you have to understand your own brain. You have to be able to understand your emotions. Because if you can't do that, how the hell are you meant to listen to somebody else?
Yeah.
And then that discovery led me to look back at the childhood. Like, what did I enjoy? Imagination. What did I enjoy? Beating people up. And and then that led me to pro wrestling one night when I got really, really, really drunk in a bar.
Yeah.
And I got home and I'm like, oh, what do I need to do? I need to do something with my life. I'm doing all these jobs. It's all right, but I feel like I'm lacking.
Yeah.
Freaking drunk as, what's Pro Wrestling New Zealand? What's that? Oh, what's this company? Oh, IPW. I've never heard of them before.
Yeah.
And I think I was like 21. IPW, that sounds kind of cool. 2 a.m. Hey guys. Oh, why do you want to be a wrestler? Hey guys, my life's passion is to inspire, and I've always felt like I want to wrestle, and I've always scoop slam people, and I do presentations and sales and da-da-da-da-da. And I feel like I need this in my life. Send them an email at 2:30.
Yeah.
Wake up the next morning. Oh, geez. Thanks, bro, for your message. Come in on Thursday.
No shit. That quickly. Wow.
Yeah. It was quick, actually. They're like, we have a trial in 2 weeks, but just you come in anyway.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so there's a very drunk email with my life story that IPW owns. I hope you don't have it, because I don't remember what I wrote, but I remember being very emotional.
Oh, Amber, if you could kindly provide that email, we'll just throw it up on the screen here.
Yeah. Nah, Amber and I are besties. She'd never do that to me.
So, and that's how you got started, and then now we've got Sean. You might want to roll on some of this stuff. So,
I feel like the pro wrestling side's coming.
Subscribe
to it's Kurt Brown.
So, at It's Kurt Brown on YouTube, Instagram. TikTok, anywhere else?
Yeah, it's the same. Well, they know. Instagram's my main. I like.
That's
Instagram.
your bread and butter, right?
That's my bread and butter.
Okay, cool. So at It's Kurt Brown, where did this? You can't even say character, because what it feels like is you discovered that sales was your path, and then with the at It's Kurt Brown, all you've done is just like ratchet that shit up to 11.
Pretty much.
How did you sort of go through that process and work out where at It's Kurt Brown on YouTube, Instagram, and across all social media platforms? Where I'm gonna plug fucking champion.
Yo, I'm so persuasive. I don't even need to plug my own YouTube channel.
Here we go. This is what I was waiting for.
Yo, come watch me wrestle in November at Dewdrop Arena.
Yes. Now that's.
We're skipping.
No. We're gonna lead into that, but let's get back into how at It's Kurt Brown sort of came alive.
Yeah.
Was he a fully formed character, or was it like an evolution?
Oh, hell nah. I think I was wrestling as myself.
Right.
I was wrestling as myself when I first started.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I feel like a dick for doing this. I feel like an idiot for saying this.
Yeah.
Why would I say this? Essentially, I'll just keep it long story short, because I feel like I need to figure out a way to present this.
TLDR, absolutely.
But literally most of my character from the opening of this year.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. It's hilarious because I think there's a few people who've only been around me when I'm in character.
Yeah.
Because sometimes on sets, I'd like to stay, mostly.
Yeah.
But my character's very sarcastic at times, so I'll drop out and be a nice guy
You
at times.
blur the lines incredibly well.
Yeah.
As I found out in this podcast. In a good way. It's never bad, man. This is awesome.
Hopefully.
No, it's been so cool.
Yeah, but pretty much my character is literally just been based on like an ego death, right?
Right, okay.
And then I figured out I need to make a staple and just make something that people actually emotionally can relate to.
Yeah.
Whether they see this within themselves or they know somebody like this.
Right.
And based on their cognitive biases, they're like, oh, I recognize this in my life. I hate this guy.
Yeah.
Where it's really funny because some people love the character. Like, it's inspiring. He's going after what he wants, and some people hate it.
Yeah.
But it's literally the ego version of myself, Kurt, that thought he had to fit in by being cool, by being the successful sales guy, by being the guy who went to parties. I ramped up the ego side of myself with the leather and the sunnies and the watch.
Yeah.
And I just ramped that all the way up. And it worked because I legitimately pissed a lot of people off.
And it's crazy to see, you know, we've seen the Kurt Brown character a few times actually wrestle. And at the time of recording this podcast, you're wrestling tonight in Aotearoa Wrestling Grassroots, which will be cool. And I think damn near the whole Five Elements Media team is attending, either to do production or to view, as I found out. So it's going to be cool.
Yes.
But a Dewdrop, that's going to be the big flagship show, along with the Pack Rumble as well, right? So this is going to be really interesting because we're going to try and line this up with that event. Now, wrestling's always card subject to change. But where's Kurt Brown going to be at Dewdrop?
Well, hopefully
What's
Kurt
this most
Brown.
eagle fucking maniacal shit that he's going to be in?
I don't know. I guess we might see how Kurt's feeling at the moment. Because as you were saying, the tough part with media, right, is actually being relatable, having more of yourself. And that's something that I want to do. Because being this false ego character is freaking tiring.
Yes.
As you said earlier in the podcast.
Yeah, man.
When you not saying that it's directly the same, but you mentioned the comedy version of yourself, the performative version. It's can be really exhausting. I think, especially with my social media, like half of what I post is character, half of what I post is me.
Yeah.
And so I don't think people know. But I don't play with I don't stick in my character outside of wrestling,
which is good, and that's cool.
Maybe.
Well, no. Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. Could you imagine, right, you go out, you're in character, you do your match, and then you stay in character for the rest of the night. Not only are you physically exhausted, you would also be mentally and psychologically exhausted if you kept that character the whole time. Some people can do it.
And I'll probably
Some people
be
can't.
bleeding out from being stabbed. Yo, let's not break the mic. Yes, I bought myself a water break. That was the plan.
That's outstanding. Hey, Kurt, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
We're cutting there.
We're
cutting there. Wait. Dewdrop. All right. Yo. Every single moment in the life of everybody and everything has led to Kurt Brown fighting for the Northland title. I don't know, something like that. I want to bring the Northland title to the Dewdrop Arena to show everybody that Northland has created the hearts and the foundations of the best fighters that will be in New Zealand. Mackay Stadium, where we're fighting tonight, my goal is to make that the Madison Square Garden of New Zealand, with the crowd of people that are inside the Mackay Stadium are going to be the heart and soul of professional wrestling, where people around the world are going to look at the stadium, Mackay Stadium in Whangarei, and be like, that is where we have to go in New Zealand to say we've done it, to build a name, to get our name on the wall, on the plaque. That is what that stadium is going to be. That's why I'm fighting there. That's why I'm bringing it back to Auckland. It is not a journey about winning a title, and it's not a journey about ego. It is a journey about becoming and overcoming, and I will bring that title to Dewdrop, and Whangarei Mackay will be the place to be.
I got nothing after that, man. That's outstanding.
Do you think that was character?
Fuck, that was a legendary, and we got most of it on for your social media.
That's why I did it.
Exactly.
I heard the camera go.
It's Kurt Brown, and just regular Kurt Brown. Dude, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast, man. This has been just like a roller coaster, and so fucking cool, man.
You're a lad, Mark. I always love talking to you. We would sit in KFC after tonight and chat for 3 hours
Fuck
straight.
yeah, we can, man. That'd be great. Yeah. But it's cool because you're on your trajectory upwards.
Hopefully.
So, well, no, confident you are. But that's outstanding. Producer Andrew's just stretching his fingers. Don't worry about it.
I thought we're getting the 5-second count on my.
Yeah, he's like 10, 9, 8.
I'm like, where's the warning?
Yeah, it's like, no, bro. I know it will. But thank you so much for joining us, dude. This has been so much fun, man.
Oh, I had a great time as well.
And I'm so looking forward to tonight. Thank you, dude. Really appreciate it.
Let's go. Subscribe.
And it's Kurt Brown. Well, there you go, everyone. Kurt Brown. Now I know that it certainly seems like there's been a wrestling heavy theme, the second half of 2025. We had no intention of it working out that kind of ways. It just has. People have been available, and we've just if someone's available, we'll just grab them. We'll do our best to be as flexible as possible. But if someone's available, we're absolutely going to get them on, because we just we love talking to everyone, learning about their journey, their story, and we always take something away from each podcast. And I'm going to cordially invite producer Andrew to join the corridor.
Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. Kurt's was a really interesting podcast.
It was.
What would you say was your sort of prominent takeaway out of that?
What I actually really liked is what you did. So I could see you trying to figure it out the whole first kind of half.
Yeah.
How you were going to get through the character.
Yes.
And then that second half, you really got through to him.
Yeah.
Not that it was some sort of psychological experiment, but it was really cool. We got a contrast. We got the real ego wrestler side, and then we got this kind of real introspective side where you really made him think about how he kind of came to this point.
Yep.
And it was really cool. And then at the very end, he snapped straight into that promo.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
For me, it was definitely like a podcast of thirds.
Yeah.
So we had the first third where Kurt Brown, the real Kurt Brown versus that's Kurt Brown.
Yeah.
Wrestler.
Influencer Kurt Brown.
There was such a blending and amalgamation of the two. I was going, I don't fucking know where the real guy starts and the wrestler finishes, man. It was so weird. It was very surreal too. Yeah. And then the middle third, we started getting a little bit deep and a little bit heavy on things.
Yes. Yeah.
And I my son Sean was in here, and Kurt had actually asked Sean to film some promo spots and bits and pieces that he could use for his own stuff. I just said to Sean, look, don't film any of this for just a second.
Yeah.
And I think once I did that, Kurt was authentically Kurt.
Yeah. There were no cues by the sound of the recording.
No.
Yeah.
And then the last third, he just slides back into that character so easily.
I know.
And it was just like, fuck, we're back at the start where I don't know which Kurt I'm talking to. Yeah. And then he cuts the meanest promo.
Yeah.
Just
no gaps.
No gaps.
I was like, how?
And there was no like or
like have a look at my OBC promos.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of
or just a lot of space.
Yeah, and there's a lot of pauses between words, and
me walking halfway across my yard.
That's it.
Out of a bush,
and it can sound very William Shatner-like at times. But Kurt we just sat there in the chair, stared straight down the barrel of his camera.
It's
and it was like fucking promo, and I was like, Jesus. Dude.
It actually looked very WWE.
It did.
Yeah,
and
I was quite surprised.
At that point that he was doing that, I just pushed my microphone out, sat back, and I was like, all right, off you go.
Yeah, I could really relate to what he was talking about Whangarei Whangarei as well. Because I got sucked into a lot of that party lifestyle right into my late 20s. That's kind of how it goes up here. Like if you're not out and in that party scene, you're not really anyone in Whangarei. It's kind of a strange thing. Because nowadays even, I was so well known for going out and just getting on the piss with people.
Yeah.
That people just, when I see them in public, they're like, holy hell, what are you doing nowadays? Like, it's so crazy. We don't have any kind of other thing where we bond in Whangarei, and that was quite a profound thing for him to bring up and for me to reflect on. So
and I mean you've touched on it a couple of times in the past, but it's been a while since it's been brought up, but it's really interesting, and it's actually really similar in a lot of the regional outliers from the main centres. It's like, how do you bond, and especially in your late teens, early 20s. it's like, how do you bond? Will you bond over getting shit-faced or stoned?
Yeah, and like, I've always said that I reckon it's just a straight up lack of amenities, lack of other things to do. Everything closes early in Whangarei, you know, like there's no real outlet, so you just end up in a shed somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, not I don't know if it's a negative thing. For me it was, but for a lot of people maybe that bonding and their relationship with alcohol is a little bit different, but
I think everyone's got their own relationship with their whatever their vices are of choice. And you know, if you do you, man. Yeah. As long as it's not hurting other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, go for gold. Have at it. Yeah, well, you know, I don't think you can't say don't hurt yourself when you're drinking like half a keg. Been there, done that. It's just one of those dumb things. You know, Whangarei's got so much to offer. You have to go out and really hunt for it. Yeah. And there are some really cool initiatives coming about. It's great to see so many awesome like events and festivals and gatherings and stuff like that. It's all coming out now, and it's starting to get really amazing. And the tunnies. By the time this podcast comes out, hopefully the tunnies.
Hopefully they've won something.
That would be amazing. That would be so good. You know, I've been a big supporter this year, actually last couple of years. So it'd be really cool if they actually lift it up and do really well.
My stepdad was over the other night and he was like, it's not all about winning, Andrew. I was like, 50 years, it's all about winning. It's all about winning. We have to beat everyone.
Exactly. Crush them all. It's very much that Arnold Schwarzenegger mindset.
Oh, man, straight up. It gets tired.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, we could be going on for ages on this one. There's so much. Yeah. So let's just table that for now. So where can you find us and the mad rants that we have? Well, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all Northland Artist Conversation. And for the audio, it's the audio. Yep. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube Podcasts. Again, just all Northland Artist Conversation. We keep it super simple. And if you're like, well, I don't have any of those, I've got something else, or if you're like, I'd like to learn a little bit more, just open up a web browser and type in Northland Artist Conversation. I think that first whole page is all us, from recommended videos for YouTube through to our, some of our socials, through to Northern Advocate articles, through to stuff where you can have a listen to bits and pieces as well. But I highly encourage everyone, like, share, subscribe, send us a comment, send us a bit of a like. We'd love to hear from you. We try and connect with everyone. If someone leaves a like, we'll always try and reply. That's kind of how we do it. And if you would like to be on the podcast, or if you've been on the podcast before and you want to come back, man, we'd love to have you. Reach out to us through our socials, or simply email us. The email address is hello@northlandartistconversation.co.nz. Our amazingly and incredibly talented admin, Michelle, will get back in touch with you. She'll throw you some dates and some times, and we'll work it out, and we'll come in, sit down, have a blast. We'll just talk, and it'll be great. That's why it's called Northland Artist Conversation. No set format, no set structural design. It's just to learn about you, the artist, and the amazing work you do. We want to celebrate that, and we continue to celebrate that as well. So I'm going to flick to the wide camera now. Big day, huge day. A lot going on. But as always, on behalf of myself, Mark Kelly, producer Andrew, editor Lee, engineer Steve, and admin Michelle, thank you so much for joining us on the Northland Artist Conversation. As I said, my name's Mark Kelly. We'll see you guys real soon.